Hello and welcome here. You will soon find out what James Gunn and Peter Safran have in store for them as 2023 brings in a new year for everyone. Although Gunn is quite direct, he should seek Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios' advice. Not their triumphs, but their mistakes. He and Safran were appointed co-CEOs of DC Studios, and now everyone in the entertainment and geek communities is waiting to see what they do next. It's had a rough beginning, from the false information surrounding Patty Jenkin's response to the cancellation of Wonder Woman 3 to how Henry Cavill was fired as Superman, again. Gunn is still one of the few in Hollywood at his level that still utilizes social media as a person and not a PR shill. He dispels rumors and corrects the record in the entertainment press with lightning speed. Feige, on the other hand, turns every Marvel announcement into an occasion, whether it's announcing the phases at a sizable fan gathering or creating headlines during red carpet appearances for the most recent Marvel Studios film. Marvel Studios is careful about what it discloses to the public, and even that has saved them from some embarrassing situations. With all the attention on Gunn, Safran and he must keep their future slate as secret as Feige. The fledgling Marvel Studios, which was not yet a Disney corporation when Iron Man introduced the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was the underdog. Christopher Nolan's Batman flicks were the pinnacle of the comic book film genre, and Warner Brothers beat Marvel on the big screen. Marvel astounded everyone and never falters, even suffering setbacks with Thor: The Dark World and the Inhumans fiasco. Snyder's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, however, had to contend with a pejorative or doubtful perception of the DC Extended Universe. Before the director's final dismissal from Justice League, the Snyder fanbase wasn't as active. However, the story soon turned into Warner Brothers striving valiantly but ineffectively to duplicate Marvel's efforts. Inhumans was the studio's first significant flop, from a phase-capping cinematic event to a badly handled TV series. Marvel was the comic book publisher that never made a mistake. Even Marvel Studios' rough response from certain fans to Phase 4 has been smoothed considerably by the transition at Warner Brothers. Old habits are difficult to overcome, thus the more Gunn withholds the better for his universe's chances. Marvel Studios survived the fallout in 2014 when Edgar Wright left Ant-Man. Most people had forgotten about the past when Peyton Reed's movie first came out. Gunn and DC Studios are not in that position. Gunn, though, is not Kevin Feige. He could even divulge more information than his former employer would. Gunn, for instance, disclosed that he is penning a Superman movie about a Kal-El who is younger than Henry Cavill could portray. The amount of information here is almost too much for the media and fans to process. Most experts predict that his movie will resemble Reeves' Year 2 Batman narrative. He will be Superman, but not quite. This is sufficient for some people to wrongly form opinions about the narrative before a single frame has ever been shot. DC forbids copying Marvel, but Gunn needs to follow Feige's lead and stick to names and flexible release dates. For DC Studios, even the usual moving of premiere dates would have a different effect than when Marvel and Disney do it. Some DC Comics fans would only accept a future in which Zack Snyder was engaged, but the majority of them were cautiously hopeful about what lay ahead. However, this change took place at a time when Henry Cavill and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, under the studio's control, were both quite outspoken about their futures with DC. The way they handled their mutual dismissal was detrimental to Gunn's other reality. However, Gunn is a comic book fanatic through and through, much like Feige, from revamping the D-list Guardians of the Galaxy to delivering the Suicide Squad with Starro and Polka Dot Man. Even Feige, though, has made some errors. As Marvel does with its phases, Gunn shouldn't walk up on stage at a convention and unveil 6 to 10 upcoming DC projects. Marvel has never been late with a project, unlike DC. The show Inhumans, which was shown on Marvel Television, came the closest. Even still, Marvel's momentum is unaffected by delays for movies like the Eternals sequel or the Blade revival because of its reliable production. If Gunn reveals 6 upcoming DC films and just one of them fails, the press and the fandom are reporting that DC Studios dropped the ball once more. Both the media and the public were aware that Doctor Strange 2 would ultimately be created when Scott Derrickson quit the project. Gunn should keep his intentions as a secret as possible until, at the very least, some cameras start rolling, despite his considerable comic book credentials and eagerness to communicate with fans. Marvel Studios seldom commits errors. When the studio makes a mistake, there are frequently 2 or 3 additional MCU items to immediately get the attention of the media. Without Gunn's fault, DC Studios carries a Starro-sized albatross around its neck made of its prior blunders. Due to this, James Gunn and 600th are even more motivated to maintain secret and share information only when it is appropriate. He may apply the lessons he learned from Marvel to DC, but he should also study Marvel's errors to reduce the likelihood that he will make the same mistakes. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you soon.